So I want to talk a little bit about loving people. And again, I'm not talking romantically. My grandfather was one of the most loving people I've ever met. My brother pointed out, he was very gruff, but he was also incredibly loving. And I've never really met anyone else who could pull off that unique combination, but it was remarkable the way he did it. At any rate, my grandfather, and this is kind of a cliche, but he never met a stranger. Like anyone he met, he would start talking to and he'd get to know about them. And often his family didn't even know, but he had friends all over the place, people that he'd known a long time or people short time, but he always made friends with people. And my dad and my father-in-law are both really good at that. They'll leave them alone, like sitting somewhere at the park or store or something, you run a few errands and come back and they've like met people and they've got new friends. At any rate, we live in a very self-focused world and we're very busy. And not all of us are really outgoing. That's fine. Like I'm not outgoing either. I'm not just going to walk up to someone and ask them their life story. And I kind of don't want people to do that to me. That being said, one of the best ways you can learn to start loving people, let me pause on that thought too. I know a lot of people who say they love humanity. I love humanity, or I love this group of people or that group of people. And when you though talk to them, you find out really quickly they're often really not that nice people and they don't seem to be very loving. It's a lot easier to love an abstract large group of people than it is to love actual real individuals. Especially, in very divisive times where we're quite polarized. If you can learn to be curious about people, that will be a huge help in learning to love them. You don't have to agree with them or like them, but if you can just be curious about them. I wonder why they did this, or I wonder why they think that. I wonder what in their life would make them come to this different conclusion than I think. And if you can start learning to be curious about people, whether that's asking them literal questions like my grandfather or my dad, my father-in-law, or just trying to understand them better, you'll find that you love people more and more. And that's great because people are everywhere. So if you can learn to love people, you will always love someone and you will feel love in return, which is a really happy and wonderful way to live. So anyway, quick little simple thing. Be curious about people, try to learn to love them individually, and then also try to kind of come see the good in humanity. It's very popular to be cynical and talk about how terrible people are and the world would be better without people, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that's really true. And I think if you truly believe that, it's really quite sad because it means you've either not opened yourself up to people or you've, I guess, only met really terrible people, which is sad because the world is a wonderful place full of amazing people who bring a lot to it. So learning to love people will make you happy. Of course, as always, I love you and I hope you're well. I'm sending you happy wishes, warm thoughts, and I'll talk to you later. Love, your Internet Grandpa.